This is a 14-mile loop in Kyle, Texas. This goes down to what we call the 5 Mile Dam Park, and then east of the interstate here to a county road 158, and then back into Kyle on some back roads. The link is going to be in the description to this route on Strava. And yeah, so this is sped up around 2 times right now. What we're watching is going through town, and I promise I didn't stop at those stop signs, right? So we're going to encounter a little bit. So if you notice here, we got some paint on the road. This happened, I don't know, about 6 months ago. I was out on a ride, and that morning, some guy in a truck had dropped paint all over the place, and it's been there ever since. So this regular route's actually closed here, as you can see. We got a little bit of construction. We've got a detour. No problem. I know this route good enough. All I do is, I think this road I'm coming over to is like Scott or something like that. I followed this little detour. This is actually right by the library here in Kyle. Coming up to this road, then I'm going to take a left on it, and this is the Scott Road I was talking about. See here, yeah, I think it said Scott. This is a nice smooth road. It's comparable to Sledge, which is what the route calls for. This one's actually a little bit nicer, a little bit smoother, a little bit higher traffic, but in general the traffic's super low over here anyways. It doesn't matter, the road's so wide and whatnot. This is very residential. In a moment here, though, we'll be coming up to a right-hand turn onto, I think the road's name is Opal. I'm very guilty of writing all these roads and not actually knowing what the road name is, so. But as we come up to it, there's actually a dog in a yard right across the way that comes out and greets me every time, and he has a special circle or loop or whatever he does. You'll see it here in a second. I slow down from 2 times to regular here. And here he comes. Does this little loop once, twice. He usually does it about 2 or 3 times. Then he keeps on going. So back to 2 times here. We're going to turn on to what is Jack C. Hayes or Old Stagecoach. Both of these roads run into each other, so they're synonymous. This particular road, the direction we're going to take it to the left, goes down to 5 Mile Dam Park. If we were to take a right, it goes back into Kyle, and that road goes near the high school and whatnot, and goes all the way back into Buda, and from Buda you can go up into Austin. That's typically how people know this route. Is coming down from Austin, they ride this road down to 5 Mile Dam and do a loop back into town. See here that little Miata or whatever it is. Thought he was small enough to not have to give me any space. He probably was, but typically the traffic on this road is pretty nice. It's a downhill, pretty much. It's just a slight decline this entire route. And typically you do get a headwind. Most of the year, the wind coming up this road is headed up north, and we are headed south now. Very rarely do we get a good tailwind going down there, but when we do, you see all the Strava segments for the day. Super low in time. You get some really good speed on this road. It's great for time trialing. I will say, however, going back the other way, which I do all the time, it is a false flat the entire way back up. So it's just a little bit of a grind. Even though you do get a tailwind a lot of times, it doesn't help that much. So here we start the descent. This descent is pretty nice. There's one little hazard on it that you got to pay attention to. But yeah, we'll descend all the way into the 5 Mile Dam area. There's going to be a subdivision on the left. Currently on the left there is a cemetery. You see people going in and out of there every now and then. The hazard should be coming up here on the right. You'll see me take the left-hand side of this lane. You'll see it's just a little bit of a bad chip seal, and they put some additional tarmac on it, it didn't do much. It's still, you don't want to go over it as a cyclist. This shoulder to the right, you'll see I'm not actually riding in it. It's for purpose. There's typically always debris in this, and lots of times there's going to be glass. Most of the time it's just kind of gravelly though. Usually not too bad. You see on the left here, they've put up this new wall, and this is going to be a brand new subdivision built on top of this already big subdivision that's over here. Typically the drivers come down here are fairly nice. Going down that hill, they wait for you. I mean, you're going 30 miles an hour down the hill anyways. They shouldn't be passing. Flip side going around, you have a big shoulder though, so typically cars have more than enough room to get by you. You'll see the subdivision right here is called Blanco Vista. There's a little bike path, hike and bike, whatever you want to call it. Over there, it's all cement, just a big sidewalk. I've never ridden it. I see folks who live in this subdivision take it all the time. They're out there running or on their little hybrids or whatever. It's a nice area. So coming up here, we have 5 Mile Dam Park. It's a nice little park, a lot of soccer fields and whatnot out there. Not a lot of shade. There is some water access. Personally, I haven't gone to the water here, but I hear it's really nice. Alright, so this part is right at 5 Mile Dam Park. Just through the map and the little blue location up on the screen. You can pause it and go back if you look at it. But yeah, here in a second, I'll turn the camera so you can see the park a little bit better. You can see this really the fence. But up here on the road, we're actually going to take a left into the subdivision. You can see that on the route. And then I'll have another clip coming up. So this is getting through the subdivision that I just turned into, and we're going to take a right here, and one of the first quote-unquote hills that we have. It's just an overpass. It is a steep overpass, you can see. The debris here on the right-hand side is a little bad. Typically there's no actual like glass or anything like that. Typically it's just gravel type of stuff, so it's not too bad. The wind sometimes is pretty bad here. Yeah, and the traffic's got plenty of room to the left-hand side. It's a great little hill here. And now this is just across the interstate. Throw up the map for just a second so you can kind of see. But yeah, you come up here. So this part of the route, there is a decent amount of traffic. For some reason, there's really not much out here. I don't understand, but you know it happens. And there's a little construction company up here straight. There's a stop sign, which is kind of stupid. I don't know why the stop sign exists. Nobody really pays attention to it except for this PT Cruiser, because it doesn't understand what I'm doing. But yeah, and I almost hit the truck here, and we're good. Alright, so here I actually take a turn that is not on this loop on Strava. You can take a pause there and look. at the map where the blue little dot was, but I turn on to Harris Hill Road. I do this to add a little bit of elevation into the ride. There's really not that much. So what I'm doing here is actually coming up to go down it, and then I'll turn around at a little community down there and climb the hill back to the loop itself. It's not a crazy hill. I think it's a average 4% gradient. I'll throw the stats up. It maybe pitches to like 12% on the extreme side of it. As you can see here, I am cresting and about to do the descent. The descent's actually pretty fun. This road isn't super smooth, but it's decent enough. So I'll go ahead and speed up this segment, and I'll see you on the other side of it. So here I am, and we are exiting the community. It was at the bottom of the hill, and turning around to go back up it now. Um, things to note is there'll be a little racetrack out here to the right. On Strava, it appears that some people ride out there. I haven't found any rides or anything like that. Be great for a crit series, so that'd be awesome. That and if you listen closely enough, you'll hear me huffing, puffing, and panting. It really sounds quite hilarious with the footage sped up. But yeah, nice little hill, and then we'll get back to the loop. So this is the turn on to one of my favorite segments in this route. It's called We Are 158 on Strava. It's just a nice little straight section. You know, it's like 1.6 miles or something like that. It's a little bit of false flat leading up here. The road's not that great, but it is what it is. It's a backcountry road. You've got cornfields on either side. And here we are, the end of the routes. This is mile 14. We're crossing back over the interstate here, headed back into what is considered downtown Kyle, I guess. I don't know if that even exists. But yeah, that was this entire route. It's a good one. It's pretty safe. The traffic isn't that bad. Um, and yeah, the little tip here is you have to get into that right-hand lane and then merge over so people can pass you. But yeah, I'm gonna let the rest of the video run. I actually turn into the neighborhood here, and I'll throw up some information about what I used to record this, some of my gear, and all that kind of info. Thanks for watching and enjoy.